The last time I saw him, he only looked a couple of steps away from the Happy Tablet Academy. Now, Jeeves, I must tell you what happened last night. Mr. Glossop has got himself into a spot of bother with the Stokers. In love with the daughter, in debt to the dad.
Yes, sir. Mr. Glossop was kind enough to put me in the picture when he telephoned earlier.
Did he ask for your advice, Jeeves?
Not precisely, sir. He expressed an eager desire to lay hands upon you, sir.
Did he, by George?
That was the way he expressed himself, sir.
Well, I wouldn't mind laying hands on him, as a matter of fact. He was the one who didn't turn the blasted alarm off.
He did mention that he would be lunching at Oscar's Delmonico at 1 o'clock this afternoon, sir. Perhaps you might find him there.
So there you are, you blighter. Be a blighter. You're the blighter. You didn't get that blasted check. You didn't turn the blasted alarm off. I did. It's just that Stoker forgot to turn it on. So it was off. So when I turned it off, I turned it on. What? I thought Stoker had turned it on, but he hadn't. He turned it off. God, you're Stoker. What am I going to do, Bertie? If he cashes that check on... Bertie? Hello, Pauline. Mr. Stoker, do sit down. Would you care for a dry martini before we order lunch? Mr. Stoker?
I'll have a bourbon and branch water, please.
Yeah. Waiter, the gentleman would like, what's it called? Oh, yes, a, pot of coffee.
Well, Mr. Glossop, I suppose this lunch is to celebrate our little business deal.
Well, in a sense, yes.
How dare you?
What?
What's the matter, Pauline?
It's all right, Daddy.
Ah. Yes, I'll start shipping your first 6 cars in about 10 days.
Well, that would be wonderful, but,
Mr. Glossop!
what is it?
Waiter! What the hell is going on here? And who the blazes is that?
You! Can't you keep your table in order?
Push off! Waiter! Why do you let these poor folks in here?
Poor? It's Bertie Wooster. Well, well, well.
Well, yourself, old fruit.
Gossip! What was that man doing under our table?
Don't be silly, Daddy. It's Bertie Wooster.
I know perfectly well who it is, Pauline. I'm not likely to forget your ill-judged engagement to him.
What ho, Mr. Stoker? Here we are again, what?
Just what were you doing under our table?
Well, I was just looking for a spoon. That is, an old chum.
An old chum?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Glossop. I do not intend to be in business with anybody who is an old chum of Mr. Wooster.
That's not fair, Daddy. It's not Hildebrand's fault that he knows Bertie.
I'm not in the business of being fair, Pauline. I am in the business of making money and protecting my family's good name.
Oh, he's tearing paper now.
Your check, Mr. Gossip. And if you came to me on bended knees and begged me to accept another one, I would spurn you. You got that? Spurn you! Come on.
Well, I got rid of him.
Bye, Bertie.
Well, there you are, old Fizzgig. As I've just saved you £10,200, 14 shillings and 4pence, I think you can treat me to a bit of lunch. She's gone, Bertie. The only woman I've loved. Yes, what a useful right hook. I'll never see her again. The bouillabaisse is rather good here, I've heard. They don't do any soft-shell crab, do they?
Tell me, Warden, what measures would you take here at Blackwell's Island prison if one of these desperate creatures tried to escape?
Men have orders to shoot first and ask questions later, Lady Malvern.
Very proper. I would
You
think.
guys.
Pick guy up. Keep moving.
All right, leave him be.
Ivy. Get moving. Yes,
Jeeves! Jeeves? Ah, Lady Mormon. Well, well, well. So, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Had a pleasant trip?
Oh, extremely, thank you. I do hope that Wilmot wasn't in your way, Mr. Wooster.
Oh, rather not. No, great pals. No, we hit it off splendidly. Saw all the sights, you know, Museum of Art in the morning, and then a spot of lunch at some nice, quiet vegetarian place, and then in the afternoon, toddle along to some concert or other, and then home for an early dinner.
Really?
Yes, and then we normally play dominoes after dinner, and then early to bed for a refreshing sleep. We had a great time. I was only sorry when he went away to Boston.
Oh, Wilmot is in Boston, is he?
Yes, he just upped one morning and said, I'm going to Boston. And then, well, sort of went to Boston. Extraordinary thing. Still very respectable sort of place, Boston, you know, not likely to come to any harm in Boston, but Lord, no.
It hadn't count, Mr. Wooster, but the fact that when I went to Blackwell's Island prison to collect some material for my book, I saw poor dear Wilmot there, dressed in a striped suit, walking the exercise yard with a pack of criminals.
Good Lord, really? Well...
So, this is how you've been looking after my poor dear boy, Mr. Wooster. I left him in your charge, thinking that I could rely on you to shield him from evil. And you led him astray. Well, no, you have deliberately done the...
Mother! Good heavens. I've just been to, Buffalo. No, Baltimore. Hang on. Jeeves, where have I just been? Begins with a B, I know.
Prisons, eh?
That's right. No!
Perhaps I can explain, your ladyship.
You?
When Mr. Wooster informed your ladyship that his lordship was in Boston, he was relying on the version I had given him of his lordship's movements. Mr. Wooster was away visiting a friend in the country at the time and knew nothing of the matter until your ladyship explained it to him just now.
What?
As he had grown so attached to his lordship and taken such pains to look after him, it might have been hard to persuade Mr. Wooster that your son went to prison voluntarily and from the best motives. But your ladyship, knowing him better, will readily understand.
Wilmot, you went to prison voluntarily?
Yes. Yes.
His lordship was frequently depressed at how little he was doing to help collect material for your ladyship's book on America.
No, I was. Yes.
I find that very hard to believe.
But surely, your ladyship, it is more reasonable to suppose that a gentleman of Lord Pershaw's character would go to prison of his own volition.
No, I did. I went of my own, what he said.
Rather than by committing some breach of the law which would necessitate his arrest.
Oh, I didn't. Look, I can prove it. I've got all the notes I made in prison for the book.
Wilmot, you did all this. Oh, how could I have doubted you? Look, Mr. Wooster, look. Look what he's done. Mr. Wooster, I owe you an apology. I have done you a great injustice. I should have had more faith in dear Wilmot's fine and pure spirit.
Absolutely.
Come along, my darling. Goodbye, Mr. Wooster, and thank you.
Jeeves, you are a lifesaver.
Thank you.
You made sure that the Stokers met me with company too, didn't you, Jeeves?
It did seem the surest way of securing the return of Mr. Glossop's cheque, sir, yes.
Now, Jeeves, that Al Capone hat of mine.
Yes, sir?
Get rid of it, will you? Burn it or something?
I've already taken the liberty of disposing of it, sir.
Going down.